Sheldon here at Fret. We're still at Sage 2016. It is the final day and it's the packing up hours. I'm standing with the legendary man, Andy McGibbon. Andy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm tired and my voice is a bit hoarse, but we are getting through it. But we have saved the cream of the crop for last, haven't we?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but thank you. I appreciate the comment.
So, Andy, first of all, you run a very successful acoustic forum, if I'm correct. Can you run us through what that is?
Well, I'm one of these guys who just has certain beliefs, and I really sort of try and follow them through. And I kind of believe that South Africa has some great songwriters, and so I've developed this forum specifically to showcase new songwriters and to encourage people who don't write songs to write songs, because I simply don't allow people to play there unless they're playing their own original material. And so it's a little bit of a project for me, and the really nice part is that we've really found some extraordinary artists who I sincerely hope will go on to do much bigger and better things. They're really good stuff, and every month we just seem to be able to dig somebody else out of the wood pile, and the standard's brutally high, and I love it. So what can I say?
You are a man that is built on passion. Tell me about these two wonderful instruments we have. Let's start with, I think, this beautiful acoustic guitar, and then you can move straight on over to this.
Well, I've been mucking around with guitars. I mean, people don't know this. Some people used to think I was an accountant who started a music shop, but it's not actually true. I'm a guy who was playing in a band, touring in a band by the age of 14. So my track record with guitars goes back a long way, and I've developed a very, very extraordinary passion for the instrument. And over the years, I've done a lot of repairs for a lot of people, and based on a simple principle that I truly care about what I do. And I've restored a lot of instruments, everything from the fabled 58 Les Pauls to advanced jumbos to old Martins and all sorts of things. And it's something that I enjoy doing, and as I say, I care about it to try and get old Warrior guitars re-roadworthy without spoiling their vintage heritage and value. And during that time, I've obviously learned a fair bit about guitars, and I suppose it's just got to a time in my life where I want to start building a few things, and I've always built odds and sods over the years, but and I started off by, well, I haven't started off because I've built other things, but my first official acoustic guitar build was this one here, which is basically a straight copy of a Martin 000. But what I've done is I've taken a Martin 000 kind of fundamentals, and I've just tried to add a few of the things I've learnt over the years to just give it my own signature, and to make sure the insides of the guitar particularly are congruent with what I believe is good for an instrument. So I've spent a lot of time on the bracing and that sort of thing. I've given it a chunkier neck than most. Some people would think, wow, that's a strange thing, but people forget this is a critical part of the guitar's tone, and I put my heart and soul into most things, but into all these things, and especially if you if you had a mirror and looked inside the inside of this guitar, you'd see it's just got what I like to think is impeccable bracing system, and the really rewarding part about this is that it's rewarded me with just delivering a really extraordinary sound, and so I'm proud of it. I think it's fantastic, and it sounds like a self-brag. It's not really. It's just you work hard and you just try and get something as right as you can, and this one's worked out right. So it's very nice.
And over here, we have that looks like the perfect love child of two legends, in my opinion. But obviously, you have your own inspirations. Can you explain something about this for us?
Yeah. This one goes back a long way, but I was approached by Gerry Libber to join his company called Guitar Inventions probably about 7 years ago, and he had designed this extraordinary electric system for a guitar, which he was hoping to market, and he asked me to design the guitar for it. Now, so I started designing this guitar around that system, and what my intention was to pitch it directly between a Les Paul, which is obviously an extraordinary instrument, and a PRS, which is another extraordinary instrument. And the idea was to try and take the best characteristics of both instruments, combine it in one, and then add one critical part of my own, which I'll talk about just now. But so what I've got here is a guitar that's slightly more modern than a Gibson Les Paul, but still looks like that kind of vintage, slightly vintage thing with a bit of a modern twist, and slightly less zooty than if that's a good word, than a PRS, and designed it like that. For example, if you take the guitar, this is a 24 3/4 inch scale length, which is very much Gibson, and yet the radius of the neck is 10 inches, which is very much PRS. It's just a radius I personally like a lot. It's got a very, very good truss rod system in, and it's got a whole bunch of little things made of Honduran mahogany neck. The interesting part, if you want to have a look at this, is this back is a bar counter, an old bar counter, which is made out of old mahogany, 80 years old, and I just liked the piece of wood, so I carved it into a body of a guitar. Maple top, very much like a Les Paul or a PRS. And then what I've done is I've incorporated a new bridge mounting system, which merges the bridge and the tailpiece on the back of the instrument, and it just makes the bridge connection just that much more sound and solid, and it delivers a very nice acoustic tone on the instrument, which is the starting point of any good electric instrument, and delivers great sustain. So very much me trying to I say that with great humility, because the great instruments that are Les Paul and the PRS is, but trying to merge the best of those two things and add a little twist of my own, which I think has actually worked really a treat. And I did it in conjunction with a great friend of mine called Johan van der Walt, who took my kind of wacky guitar ideas and put them on a CAD machine and onto a CNC machine, so that we can duplicate this over time and turn it into something hopefully commercial. So I like to think it's an instrument that will compete with most in the world. I'll certainly, if it doesn't, then we're certainly going to improve it until it does. But certainly the feedback we've had at the show for both these instruments has been absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really pleased about that, because, as I say, I put my heart and soul into this stuff.
Well, I've been watching your stand, because I've had my eye personally on this guitar for since you arrived yesterday, and yeah, I've seen all of the major importers. People come in and they've played them and they all love them, which means, you know, there's also this sense of can I say it's respect towards you know, it's, for me it's a personal honor to actually meet you in the first place and then also interview you. I really hope and wish all the best for you for the future.
I appreciate that, and I hope your project goes fantastically well with your team here. And thank you so much for the opportunity to chat to you. I really appreciate that.
Mr. McGibbon, it's been an honor. Thank you.